just like the Akatsuki from Naruto or the Espada in Bleach. In today's video, I'm going to be making my own group of villains for my manga series, Apple Black. You ever notice how the best villain groups in anime always have one thing in common? Aura. Aura, 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 aura. They're all aura farmers, the aura of mystery, or that undeniable, intimidating look, the powers that you don't want to mess with. The Akatsuki from Naruto are a great example. The Shikibukai warlords from One Piece, the Gotai 13, not entirely villains, but you catch my drift. We could also switch to the Arrancar or Espada in Bleach, and all the things that made them special, diverse, iconic, and very drippy. The Phantom Troupe was also known to be straight terrifying, 7 Deadly Sins from Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood or not, or the other 7 Deadly Sins from, 7 Deadly Sins. The 12 Demon Moons in Demon Slayer, the list goes on. So I asked myself, what if I designed my own group of villains? Meet the 13 Ghosts. My original villain group in Apple Black. And trust me, these guys are different. Don't forget to like and Holy Ghost smash the subscribe button if you want to learn how to create your own villain group or learn a whole lot more about creating your own series. Leave comments if you have any questions in the comments below. Let's get into it. Now, what makes a great villain group? Is it their aesthetic, their powers, their ideology? With the 13 Ghosts, I wanted to craft a group with all that and more. These guys aren't just a bunch of enemies thrown together. They have a structure, a purpose, and a secret that changes everything. Something that recontextualizes the world of Apple Black as we know it. Some individuals with their own goals, personal secrets, mutual goals, why they share them, how and why they exist. The 13 Ghosts are also a thing in media. You see it in a lot of literature, even the movie named after it. So I'm also kind of playing off of that. In many ways, I actually think the Gotai 13 kind of does a similar thing. Certain numbers in literature symbolize many things, and 13 was perfect for me. Given how the group is actually structured, it's very 12 really, plus 1. So kind of like the 12 disciples plus 1, the 13th. So I'm playing on a couple numbers where it's 12, but it's also, 13. Special numbers are usually odd, 23. Shout out to anybody who's seen the Jim Carrey movie, 23. You even see a lot of sports athletes have the number 23 on purpose. David Beckham, Kobe, the list goes on. 20, 13, 12, 11, 10, 7, 6, 5, 3, 1. Every number kind of has something. You just need to find what works best for you. And for me, 13 was the way to go, even though it's also kind of 12, playing on the 13 Ghosts as well as the 12 Disciples. Like I said, all these numbers have some special aspect to them, the chosen one or stuff like that, but obviously 1 can't be used here because 1 is not a group. At the top of it all, there is a leader of this group, a mysterious figure that no one truly sees or knows. One of the secrets I keep close to the vest, one of the biggest twists I've cooked up in the series. A leader shrouded in myth, a name so feared it's barely spoken. Who are they? You have to keep reading. They're more of a legend than a person, a godlike entity that the rest of the group follows religiously, only referring to him as the 13th. You think of Split, how they refer to one of the personalities as the Beast, if I'm remembering that correctly. They speak of him or her coming like it's the second coming, or may Kier guide your hand. Almost like they're in a cult. Shout out Severance or anybody who's seen that. May the 13th guide your hand. They also believe in the Eli prophecy, a major prophecy in the series, one that states that the Trinity will dawn the infinite night. The night is nigh, they say. Honestly, the prophecy deserves its own video, which you guys can look forward to. Written in a vague manner on purpose, so I can mislead you guys, or have double meanings or double entendres, and all kinds of fun stuff that change everything and more. Point is, the remaining 12 are believers. As you can imagine, these are some of the most powerful sorcerers in the series, with their wands and cloaks. If you want to know more about my power system, wands, cloaks, and what the series is about, see my power systems video or all the other videos that you can find on the channel. Check out the playlist, and all of this will make a little bit more sense if you haven't seen it already. But even if you haven't, you should still be able to follow. The point is, most of these characters have wands, unique cloaks, orbs, and more. You'll also not be surprised to learn that they can break walls of ebony or ivory. Think of that as like a Bankai or Shikai or going Super Saiyan. A power-up, if you will. All nasty if you ask me. You can even ask Mikhail, a character who's come across them in the past, where they did him dirty. But it does make you wonder why they only slaughtered his special ops team, Onyx, and spared him. Maybe they wanted him to tell the tale, or something else. They don't particularly move in twos like Akatsuki, or like that time with Ryukyora and Yami. They're real G's that move like lasagna and never see them coming, like ghosts. You know, G for ghost. Anyways, point is, they move in twos, threes, fours, whatever is needed to make sure the task is complete. The Akatsuki moved in pairs and were defectors from their villages. The Espada had ranks with numbered tattoos, if you will. But the 13 ghosts, their hierarchy and cult-like formation is quite unique. Again, a lot more Severance influence here. I'll let the series kind of break that down over time. But apart from the light novels, we've met a few Ghost members in the manga volumes already, very briefly. Some are former members, some we don't know are Ghost members yet, and we won't know until I ever unmask them in the story. Hopefully in creative and fun reveals. The masks are there to hide their identities, obviously, for a host of reasons, but also there are spells on the masks prohibiting them from leaving the team, defecting, or anything of the sort. Similar to how Danzo does with like the little jutsus on the tongues and stuff. There's more I could say, but again, I want to leave most of the major reveals to the books or people reading it on Webtoon. That said, Volume 6 will be the first time we officially truly meet a Ghost member in action, masked in all of its glory. Volume 5 to 7 is the second arc of Apple Black, a tournament arc, the Nirvana game. Again, you can go get the books, and if you don't have any of the books or the light novel, you can begin reading right now on Webtoon. Free. The other 12 Ghost members, like I said, mirror the 12 disciples, sort of. In the same way stories like Fullmetal Alchemist or the 7 Deadly Sins play with the 7 Deadly Sins. My series clearly has some religious influence with Buddhism, Catholicism, and more. So be prepared for some even Plague X things, which are playing on the 10 plagues. I'll leave that for a future video, but the OG subscribers know what I'm talking about. However, don't look at the art. A lot of the designs have changed for the Plague X as well. Imagine them as characters that mirror the 10 plagues in that creative, fun, hype, shonen, anime, manga, superpowered group way. Each one with their twisted abilities and a connection to the world of Apple Black in interesting ways. In the manga, some things are slowly uncovered about each member potentially being a sorcerer resurrected. Again, like ghosts. And also, if someone does somehow defeat a ghost, which has almost never happened, almost like the agents in the Matrix, you see a ghost, you run. But in the event that that does happen, the ghost will just be replaced, recruiting or resurrecting another powerful sorcerer. What's the process? How does that come into play? Again, gonna keep that tight. Though the 13th is believed to have picked and assembled with purpose. There is a method to the madness. And he or she, or if they exist at all, doesn't just swipe right on dead sorcerer Tinder. In addition, the act of even resurrecting sorcerers, if the theory is true, does have its drawbacks and consequences that, again, I will let the story reveal. Keep in mind that I'm saying what's mostly believed in the series, so you can't actually trust everything I'm saying in these videos. Maybe there is no 13. Maybe they've all been lied to. Maybe I'm just capping. This is the reality because nothing is actually set in stone until publication, at least. I am the author, I am the creator, so I can literally change my mind mid-panel drawing if I come up with an idea that I think is better. These are things that happen as you just evolve and grow as an artist and a writer. There are a couple things that have already changed and moved around as time has gone on. Apple Black Origins and the Spectre light novels, the first book to truly explore the ghosts at all, even though they were first mentioned in Volume 1, Chapter 5, pointing to Mikhail's dire history meeting them and them destroying his whole team, leaving him scarred and killing off his whole squad. So yeah, there's a beef. But ultimately in this world, they're so mysterious, there is very little known. The light novel does peel it back a little bit as we meet a total of 5 members. Top secret stuff. Who exactly are these ghosts and what are their code names? Why are they so dangerous? I'm not gonna share their abilities, who they are, even why they are, but I can share some initial concepts of how I plan on designing them. So real quickly, we got Black Maria, the charismatic makeshift leader in the absence of the 13th, almost like the den mother of the group, commands massive respect, and her design is quite purposeful.
Chosen one, key.
Judas You know, the name's probably not a coincidence. Not all, but a lot of these guys have white or light colored hair as a result of certain experiments that the books will touch on. Simone Peter, also very dangerous. Can't say much about the character. Ink, this is one we've touched on the channel before. A joyful character with an almost emotionless mask. Longtime subscribers have seen her in past videos on the channel. Shout out to everyone who supported the channel over those years. Then we got Persephone, a silent assassin. Anubisum, the name says it all. Royalty with an enormous ego, maybe a bit prejudiced, but I like the unique design, almost like the mascot of the group. Because I have to be a little bit more tight-lipped with these characters and what their behaviors are like, you guys can leave in the comments what you think these characters would actually behave like in real life. I can actually see Anubis talking normally, but then acting like a real dog in like comedic fashion, easily distracted and stuff.
Hey, get out of here! This is my house!
Then we have Kid Saul. Of course there's a child in here, but think Dorian Gray with a secret twist to it.
Then we have Solomon Dorius, named shrouded in myth and the ugly muscle of the group. Blink Spectre, not gonna say much more than that. Some of you know who this is already if you're a reader of Apple Black, especially if you read the light novel. Dr. Nature, same thing, can't say much. Jestmeister, which I view as the wild card of the group, probably the most sadistic of the group. Think Joker, think Hisoka. Maybe not as weird, or maybe more weird. We'll see what I do. Killer Roth, Gigatonia, both powerful sorcerers, but again, I can't say much. And then lastly, Donnie, almost like an illusionist type with the simplest design, where you don't really know what you're looking at. You're looking at a duck or the head of a bunny. I love to read in the comments what other villains you guys think these characters would be similar to and what series they're from. Or just what you think their behavior would be like. Just having fun in the comments. For some characters, especially the ones that haven't debuted yet, there's still things that are subject to change, not just their design, but also in name. And then also you'd notice that these are well more than 12 or 13. That's because certain things in the story have happened where, well, you know what? I'm just gonna keep that to me. The point is, they still end up being 12. So you can take a wild guess what's happened. But I'll leave who it happened to, how it happened, and all of that to those who check out the story. Now, obviously the 13 Ghosts take inspiration from some of the best groups in anime, period, not just villain groups. I love how the Akatsuki have a unique duo system with mysterious origins, how the Espada operate under a structured ranking system, how the Phantom Troupe have a family-like dynamic while still being ruthless killers, how the 7 deadly sins from Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood are themed after certain lore. My 13 Ghosts kind of touch on all of those things in certain ways while trying to bring something new. An example of that would be that cult-like touch to it, which again is not entirely new, but it's one of the things that sets it apart from all the popular anime villain groups that I've mentioned. Tying in with the idea of them being ghosts, that's another theme and element added to their whole persona. So I wanted them to wear something white, while at the same time keeping it stylish with all the characters wearing it in their own unique ways. Kind of how the 13 Court Guard squads in Bleach did it, or the Akatsuki, even though with the Akatsuki they're a lot more uniform with it. The captains of Bleach and the lieutenants of Bleach definitely added their own style a little bit more, and so that's kind of what I wanted to go towards here, but honestly even taking that to the max a little bit more. It's uniform, but it's all worn differently here, but on top of that is not as uniform. In fact, the uniform element really comes from the color scheme more than anything. So the colors are uniform. The fact that they're all wearing cloaks is uniform. The fact that they all have masks are uniform, but everything else is a little bit more free-flowing. The cloaks, which are the hooded things, also some inspiration from Harry Potter, but here it's also the characters and sorcerers paying respect to the god of sorcery. So having that hood over your head is a sign of respect to Merlin. I also didn't want the characters to be too vastly different like the Phantom Troupe or League of Villains or the Shikibukai. They're in an order, kind of like a fellowship in my series, but an evil fellowship. And in this fellowship, with that order, where everybody kind of toes the line, I did want some sense of uniform, hence why the attires are not too wildly different. I wanted it to be uniform enough, but also lending me enough rope for character design flexibility. White, gold, and some black were the main colors I was going to touch on. The colors also symbolically match what they represent. White for the element of ghosts and a certain purity that they claim to have. The gold for a sense of royalty, higher power. Black for death, hence why you run when you see them. Afterlife, and so on. The point is, that would be their signature look. Masked like spirits, draped in white gold, like fallen deities. Almost angelic looking, maybe. But don't let that fool you. They are not. Their aura of secrecy, aura of mystery, power, feats. Everything about them is going to build tension. You are in the presence of gods and royalty. But then at the end, gotta make them look cool and trippy. Because why not? What is their goal? Why did they exist? Who is the leader? The mastermind pulling the strings behind the 13 ghosts? Someone we know, somebody new. Let me know what you guys think, especially if you've read Apple Black. I love theories. I'll probably have a video reading theories. There's even a chat on the Discord where people share your theories. Truly love them. I remember in 2008 reading that panel with Obito on the tree looking down at Kakashi and all the others. And in that moment, I was like, yep, Toby is Obito. And then I put the names together and I put the anagram and all of that. I called it. And there was like this crazy thing online where everybody was arguing who Toby was and It was so obvious. I called that in 2008, but I digress. If you're hype about Apple Black and you want to learn more about the 13 Ghosts, don't forget to like this video. Holy Ghost, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you stay notified each time I upload absolutely anything. Turn on all notifications. And if you love villain groups as much as I do, drop your favorites in the comments below as well. I'll be reading them. Support the Patreon if you haven't already. A lot of that goes into the production of the videos as well as the comic itself. Check out more videos. Read Apple Black everywhere. Get the books or read it on Webtoon. See more videos in the playlist. This is White Manga, and I'm Audi 9000.